Hey, what's up guys? It's Nihilus again. Today I'm going to be taking a look at what Xur has and giving you guys a build to run with. Xur's in the tower next to Dead Orbit, so let's go ahead and take a look. First off, he's got Skyburner's Oath. Okay, Skyburner's Oath is a solar scout rifle. Exotic perks are, this weapon is full auto, does extra damage to Cabal, and penetrates phalanx shields. Intrinsic trait is Slug Rifle. This weapon lobs large, explosive-seeking slugs when you're firing from the hip. When you're aiming down sights, the slugs travel fast and straight with higher damage and a lower rate of fire. It's kind of weird to see faster and lower rate of fire in the same sentence. Okay. Second is going to be the Lucky Raspberry for the Hunters. Perk is increasing chaining capabilities for Arc Bolt Grenade and has a chance to recharge it each time it deals damage. A full chain always recharges. Now, I've had this one for a while. It's an old Destiny 1 exotic, and it's honestly pretty useful. So we'll go ahead and come back to that. Third item is going to be Peacekeepers for the Titans. Exotic perk is Mecha Holster. Reloads stowed submachine guns and allows you to ready them instantly. Improves your handling with SMGs and your movement while wielding one. And to round it out is Vesper Radius for Warlocks. Exotic perk is Planetary Torrent. Rifts release an arc shockwave when cast. Rift energy recharges faster when you're surrounded by enemies. Alright, nice. Let's go back to where we started with the Skyburner's Oath. Now, considering that it's a scout rifle, there's not really an exotic armor piece that'll go really well with this. You can use reloader mods to get that reload speed up, but that's about the extent of that. What makes this gun interesting is its tracking. It's not perfect, but you can definitely hunt some dudes down with this. At longer ranges, it will miss, but more often than not, it's going to get the job done. This is probably more of a fun weapon than something you would always want to keep in your loadout, but maybe something like a Cabal Nightfall or some strikes or something like that, you would be better situated. Okay, so for the Lucky Raspberry, honestly, this thing is dope. The loadout I got going on here is obviously the chest piece and 2 weapons with Demolitionist. Now, if you don't know already, Demolitionist is a perk. Kills with this weapon generate grenade energy, activation of your grenade ability, reloads weapons from reserve. Now, keep in mind, you do have to have this weapon equipped for it to reload. You can't just stow that weapon and then throw a grenade and then everything reloads for you. And then again, to the class item, I threw down an Enhanced Bomber mod for that increase again to grenade energy and Innervation for another increase to grenade energy. Now, the exotic perks are not always going to proc and give you that grenade. Sometimes you'll get lucky, sometimes you'll get 4 or 5 in a row, and sometimes you won't get it at all. Whenever you don't get it, every kill with Demolitionist is going to give you like 15-20% of your grenade back. So it's kind of insane. You can be throwing grenades every like few seconds with this build. So I'll just give you guys a little gameplay here to check it out. Next is going to be the Peacekeepers. I chose to use Striker Bottom Tree. Its perk Frontal Assault will give you a boost to weapon stability as well as damage. I originally considered Inertia Override on Middle Tree Striker, but considering it lasts like 3 seconds, it just wasn't worth it for me. I picked the Pulse Grenade as well to go with this build. I'll be using the Risk Runner as my secondary weapon and an Escape Velocity for my primary. Now, if you guys don't have one of those yet, or maybe have one vaulted, I would check that out. I personally love the Escape Velocity. I got one with Quick Draw and Overflow. It's just really snappy. It's just a normal world drop. So if you got one, try it out. Alright, so the strategy here is pretty simple. You're just going to find a random enemy to punch in the face, like Titans do. And then that's going to give you a boost to weapon damage for about 5 seconds. And then you're going to have that Risk Runner and just hit the floor with a Pulse Grenade. And then that's going to proc Risk Runner's Arc Conductor. While you're using the Risk Runner, it's just going to keep chaining and reloading itself. So whenever you run out, you can make the swap to Escape Velocity, and then by then you should have your grenade, repeat the process. I mean, it's really easy. You can also do this with the Huckleberry and the 7th Seraph machine gun. So the Huckleberry, as y'all know, is another exotic submachine gun that reloads itself. And you can swap back and forth with the 7th Seraph to spawn some Warmind cells. So it's pretty much just never-ending fire with this. It's a lot of fun. So just something to try. Lastly, but definitely not least, is the Vesper Radius. I've had this chest piece for a long time, and it's just collected dust in my vault. So just to go over its exotic perk again, using your Rift Cast and Arc Shockwave, you do not have to be a Stormcaller equipped to get this to work. I've done it on Dawnblade and Voidwalker, it makes no difference. And also, standing near enemies recharges your Rift faster, and when I say faster, it's like faster. So for the loadout, I used the chest piece and some class item mods. I originally started out with Distribution, which I ended up keeping, and Dynamo. Distribution reduces all cooldown when using a class ability near enemies, so that's kind of exactly what we're trying to do here. When I ended up adding Dynamo, which gives super energy for doing the exact same thing, the super energy I got didn't end up being all that much, so I decided to make the move to Absolution, which reduces all ability cooldowns when I pick up an orb. And that's when that let me get a weapon in on this too, which ended up being the Recluse. Masterwork weapon kills can also drop orbs, so use the Rift, get kills with Recluse, stand near enemies and pick up orbs, and the rifts pretty much just never stop. As you guys can see here, I just ended up taking out this entire group of guys. Now they're mostly red bars, but the game is mostly red bars. When you come here and stand next to some guys, that rift just comes back so fast. It's kind of crazy. If you ever find yourself out of class ability energy, that's where your masterworked weapon comes in and starts getting you some orbs. So any masterwork will do, there's a whole bunch of them, whatever you want to do works. And I think that's all I got for this video. I might do another one next week, it just depends on the time that I have and how well this video does, so we'll see. If you guys are here at the end of the video, I appreciate y'all being here. Also, if you like the video, what do you want to see? You know, let me know in the comments. That's all I got for this one. I'll see you guys next time.
Clear 'em out.